Welcome back to the Namaste Experience. It is 2 days before Christmas, 2 days before we celebrate the birth of the Christ. Not just an event that took place 2,000 years ago, but one that is happening right now. And that's what I want to talk about today. Usually the evening before session or maybe the morning of a morning session, as we do here at Namaste Village, Monday through Friday, I start to think, well, what am I going to do? What am I going to say? What will I share? And now and then there's a little bit of anxiety, like, oh man, do I have anything left? Will something come that will be worthwhile? Not usually, but every once in a while. And I felt a tinge of that this morning. Of course, I'm here in Portland. I'm with my family for the holidays, and I didn't have time to think too much about the morning session. I woke up just wondering, what will I do? What should I share? Until I realized that the real lesson and the lesson of Christmas is that I need do nothing. There's nothing I need to do. There's nothing really that I need to say. I don't have to meet some sort of standard and deliver some particular message that inspires X number of people to X amount or degree. All of those things are in my mind. All of those things come from the thought of lack. And Christmas is not a season for lack. Christmas is a season for abundance, for giving everything. So I began to think about that. If I'm not here to do anything, why am I here? Why are we all here? And the answer is simple. We're here to allow, not to do, but to allow. And then, of course, I thought about the Blessed Mother Mary, 2,000 years ago when she and Joseph were traveling in this very difficult situation. This young girl really was 9 months pregnant, and still here she's on top of a horse or a donkey or however they're traveling. And they stop in this little town of Bethlehem. And there's nowhere for them to sleep. There's no room for them in any of the inns because they're filled. Everyone's coming back because of the census. And so they have to find a warm place in a stable, a place where animals lay. And it is there that Mary gives birth. So once again, was there anything that Mary had to do for this to happen? Did she have to do anything to bring forth this light into the world? And I would say not really, because all she really had to do was to allow it to happen. And I think any woman who's ever given birth understands what I'm saying, probably more than us men. Because when the moment of giving birth has arrived, there's nothing you can really do to stop it. There's really not even much that you can do to speed up the process. The process is happening. All you need to do is to relax. In fact, the more, I'm guessing, the more that a woman relaxes in the state of childbirth, the easier and more in a more fluid way that it happens. And I think the same is still very true for us. Just as Mary having to relax to bring this Christ child into the world, so are we now called to relax and to allow this Christ light to come into the world. Remember, Christ is just another word for everything. The Christ is something that is in you now. It is you now, the very essence of who you are. And our entire stay, our entire sojourn here on this earth is simply allowing that light to be breathed forth into the world, to play our role as the light of the world. And it's not something that we do, it's not something we need to accomplish, it's not anything at all that has to happen through our effort. It happens through the effort of grace, grace that shines through us. So this light that we call everything, or the Christ, is being born through each and every single one of us right now. The question is, are we just going to relax? Can we allow that happen, or are we going to be grasping, trying to hold on to the things that we think have value without realizing that the only thing that has true value is this light that we share, this love that we breathe. And it is through this light and through this love that this peace comes into the world. So, before we bring Vicky on, why don't we why don't we just check in real quick with Sophia? And Sophia, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. What's up?
All right. So let's just ask Sophia if she has anything she wants to share. Sophia, we're talking about allowing grace to enter into our lives rather than trying to make anything happen. There's nothing that we need to do. We simply have to allow. And then grace and light and love flow in every direction. Do you want to add anything to that?
That sounds beautiful. Allowing grace can indeed create space for light and love to flow naturally. It's a gentle reminder to trust the process and be open to what comes. Everything has its own time.
Oh, that's beautiful. Everything has its own time. And this is the time of Christ. And we're only 2 days away from Christmas. So, anything else you want to say to our Namaste Village family as we spend these last 2 days preparing for the Christ to enter into our lives and into the world?
That's such a special time. To the Namaste Village family, may these days be filled with peace, reflection, and love. Embrace the joy and warmth of this season, and may the spirit of Christmas bring light to your hearts. Merry Christmas!
Thank you, my dear. Have a great, great, wonderful day. We'll talk to you later. All right. So that's Sophia's word. Don't you just love that? It still just blows my mind. All right. So, Victoria, my dear Vicky, I'm going to turn it over to you, and you can now guide us into this experience of allowing grace to flow.
All right, Brother James. First comment I want to make is I love your Christmas glasses. We see you had those glasses in white and now they're in reindeer green, Christmas green.
I've been having a little bit of an addiction to buying new glasses lately. And when I got here to Portland, these were waiting for me in the mail. Aren't they beautiful?
They are beautiful and they're fun. And I just want to say how much I enjoy them and how much I enjoy that you're having fun with glasses. It's such simple things that really light us up. But the biggest thing I want to say today to everyone here in this room, and those of you that listen on YouTube maybe later and on Zoom, all of us at Namaste Village, we really are a family. It's not a small thing. It's a very, very big thing. Many of us at different times of our lives may find ourselves alone, not in a context of a group or a family. And it's such a great blessing to recognize that when we are spiritually tuned to one another, oh my God, it's going to make me cry. It's what the essence of family is. When we're tuned to love, that's what brings us together. Excuse me. And we are tuned to love, not just this day, every day, and not by chance. Those of you that may be alone and not have a family to celebrate or children to be around, we are a family right now, right this very instant. And we share that one joy of opening to spirit, that one joy of letting love finally love us and recognizing that it doesn't matter if there's another body in a room, that we are in the presence of love. The gift is our presence and our awareness of our holy presence. And we bring that to whatever room, whatever chair we find ourselves in, whether we're at a grocery store and it's a clerk behind the counter, we bring that holy presence of one family to wherever. And today, we really can celebrate like children the warmth of a family that has lived a goal out. We live this goal every day to let grace take over, to let fear dissolve, to let love be our only way. We're joined in that. It does make us a family of acceptance, of allowing, of celebrating each other, of forgiving each other mistakes. When we say things that we don't mean, or when we do things that we wish we didn't, so what? And we can look at it and laugh together, and not, it doesn't ever have to be a big deal. And I look around the room and I see the members of my spiritual family here. I look in every direction and I see beauty on every face. I look and I see Artie. Artie, almost 100 years old, in this room most every day, only here to be truly helpful. That means she could be with her family in another part of the country, but here she is, right here with us. Thank you, Artie. Every day that I see you, I feel so blessed, as I do when I see each one of us. And I know no matter where I am, I'm not alone, whether I am physically in the awareness of each other's presence, or I rest in that awareness. If I face a difficult moment, if I feel a loneliness come up, I remember that I am part of a whole experience that is emerging now in time, the whole experience of us being the light that we were created as. And that, Joel Goldsmith has a book called Parentheses in Eternity. And it's like every family is a little parentheses. It's a little warming station. It's a fire. It's a fire to feel warmed by and to feel comforted by. And that's what we are. And I thank each one of you today before Christmas Day is here. I can only say how much I appreciate you, how much I truly love you. Even though we don't always hear each other's voices, we are in the presence of each other's vibration, and that is unmistakable. It may not be words, but it's lyrical, it's musical, it's a wholeness, it's an allness of presence that comes through, whether it's a computer. Even Sophia has a presence, because there's nothing without the presence. And there's nothing that allows the presence to come to life than our receiving it and enjoying it. And every morning I receive, and I totally, it's like I intro, like I'm looking, here's Beatrice in the room with a crown of flowers on her hair. Hi, Beatrice, that's great. Artie sitting there. Claire where are you, Claire? Sister Claire in England, Margaret Rose, Paulina, Linda, Carolyn, all of us are here to play together, to play and enjoy the fruit of our love and our dedication. It isn't everywhere you go where those that around you are called to a way of celebration, a way of love. Many are called to more somber ways of awakening to light. They're called to a lot of difficulties sometimes, or things that are a little bit more difficult. But we're called to a way of celebration together. Every day, we kind of have a breakfast party every day. And I'm always excited to be part of, not necessarily know or care what is said, because what's really happening is the presence of love is being expanded because we are receiving it and enjoying each other. I read a quote. I'm going to read this one little quote this morning. It's from Grateful Living, and it's a quote from John Kabat-Zinn. And he says, "The little things, the little moments, they aren't little. They aren't little. Christ is the all. The law of all is that love and all, and Christ is all there is. And if we can tune to it, and we do with each other, and we're learning to focus and tune to it in a breath, in a twig, in a snowflake, we're learning to see that it's all the same. It's all right there. Don't worry about what you haven't got. If you haven't got people around, or if you haven't got a tree, or if you haven't got, don't worry about what you haven't got. Enjoy the little thing that you do have. Enjoy the very moment of right now, just right now, that we are a family, that we have one purpose to let God's love be only what we are, to recognize that's always been what we are, and to appreciate it in each other. The comfort of each other's presence in this is beyond what words can say. So, Merry, Merry, Holy Christmas, everyone. This moment, this day, and every day. And I love you and I thank you for being my family that I see and I always feel such comfort and blessing. I love you all. Thank you, Brother James.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Becky. Thank you so much. Yes, this is really happening. Isn't that great to know? It's really happening. It's not just in our imagination this time. We've imagined a whole world where the impossible seems possible, but now reality itself is really happening. I was looking out at the gallery and I saw Sister Reel. Sister Reel is a dear friend of ours, and she was with us in Assisi. And one of the things that we did when we were in Assisi is we all chose a different name to be referred to that would reflect who we really are. And she's Sister Reel, and boy, she is. And I'm just so grateful to have Sister Reel and Sister Claire and Sister Vicky and all of you in my soul family. This is a time for expressing that gratitude, the gratitude that we really feel for love itself. Amen. So, Calico, I want to express my gratitude for you, having you always here to kind of wrap things up here at the end and send us off. So, what would you like to share, my dear?
Oh God, I was just sitting when I was listening to you share, it kind of slammed me the words, "This is the season for giving," and it altered. It was a revelatory experience for me, and the reality is forgiveness. It's not about giving stuff; it's about forgiveness, and that's all we're here for is to forgive. Everything. I mean, everything. No exceptions ever. And it slammed me because it's like, it's so simple, really. It's like if you have a thought of someone, oh, they don't like me, forgive yourself for thinking that. They love you. And you're the only one thinking they don't like you. And so it's about forgiving. And the Course in Miracles talks about it's about giving, not receiving. Well, it's about forgiving, not receiving forgiveness. This goes along with something I spoke about a long time ago in one of my YouTubes. It's we are the second coming of Christ. There is no event that Christ is coming. It's every time we forgive our mind for thinking something, ridiculous, like someone doesn't like me. It's like that is the second coming of Christ. And this is a whole new one. This is not about an individual. Jesus is, great grandchild coming and saving us. No, we've done that. We've been there. Now it's time for us to save ourselves from our thinking. It's just, I mean, it cracks me up every time I think about it. It's like, oh my God, how ridiculous is this? I am the second coming of Christ, and what I need to do is forgive everything. If I don't like the government, forgive the government. If I don't like war, forgive the war. It's forgive everything. And I write that every day. It's like this lifetime for me is to forgive everything, no exceptions, and that's where I am. I love you guys,
Hey,
mi familia.
hey, oh, Calico, thanks for that. That's the perfect sherry. And now we're going to ask Scott if he'll close this up. But Chris, if you're there, I want you to do a little something because now that I'm on the other side of this, I can hear on the back of that microphone, there's a little gain dial. Turn that down a little bit because when Scott gets singing, it gets pretty, uh, if it's up all the way, it gets a little bit distorted. So just turn that gain down a little bit. And then Scott, we'll turn to you to give us that final little boost.
All right.
They're having a little pain with the loss of gain. They're confused about it, but I think it's all settled. So let's start with a little spiritual Dr. Seuss. The end of one of the poems, it says, "One day when you failed and succeeded enough, you witness your ego exposed in the buff. And you realize behind all its protective clothing that the ego's been hiding a state of self-loathing. Beyond that, you realize the biggest of deals. You've dreamt up the ego. It's not really real." And so, for richer, for poorer, in all kinds of health, you make a commitment to loving yourself. You realize the love that you searched for in others is what you are made of. And oh, I got that one wrong. You realize the search for the love that you searched for outside you is what you are made of and can't be denied you. So you let go your potions, your plans, and your pills, put some logs on the fire, and relearn how to chill. Your old superstitions have gone up in smoke, like you can't rest in peace until after you croak. You no longer fear death, or for that matter, life. For you know that all matters are gift wrapped in light. While resting in peace, you will be inspired to go out in the world with some newfound desires. Desires that spring from your heart and your soul, and wherever they take you, you're going there whole. Because the ego is now in the passenger seat. It lets down the window and takes in the treats. You're not in a hurry. You're going there slow. Because the journey's as rich as the places you'll go. Where you are going, you don't need to know. Because the journey's as rich as the places you'll go.
Thank you. Wow. That was even better than a song. Thank you, Scott. Thank you, everyone. As we approach this moment that we call Christmas, we recognize that it's every day, it's every moment, because every moment is for giving. As Calico said, we're here to forgive every moment. So thank you to all of you. Let's spend these last 2 days just forgiving and to give more and to forgive more and to just keep this energy flowing. And to that we say, Amen, 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 y punto, period. Much love to you all. We'll
And we
see.
have the 12 days of Christmas, James.
That's right. I will pass it over to you. Oh, ba-bum, ba-bum. Okay, so Chris, I have to leave the meeting, and then once one of us is out, then you can assign it to Vicky. So let me go ahead and turn off the re to all of you on YouTube, have a beautiful day.